Okay, so thank y'all for coming back to the channel where we talk about faith, fitness, finance, you, and relationships. And I want to tell y'all something I learned about being laid off. And what I witnessed for my personal unique experience is some things you have to get in order. You have to get your finance in order. You have to create a daily plan for yourself because you don't be sitting up, laying around all day long. You gotta work on your hobby, things that that bring excitement to your life, your hobby, your interest in life, and also you got to keep your faith high. Now, working on your finances, I would say that's first because you never know and expect when a layoff actually going to occur. So you have to really be on your finance because just in case of emergency situation happen, and that is an emergency situation because you never know where it come from, and it can come out of nowhere, and you get that same day notice. Now, I was in a unique situation because I was almost paid off my debt. By the time they laid me off and gave me a severance pay, it paid off the remaining balance of my mortgage. I didn't have a loan or credit card, any other loans, credit cards, car notes or any sort. So it made my experience worry free because I ain't had that debt over my head. Now, if I had that debt over my head, it would have been a harder experience for myself. I could see why somebody would definitely go through some hardship, and it would take some time to recover because you have to take out so many loans to just maintain your monthly bills. Because unemployment is not going to pay you next to nothing. Get out your mind of what they was giving you for COVID. I know some people was experiencing during COVID, they were experiencing getting higher rates for unemployment. Now, I live currently in the Atlanta area, surrounding areas of Atlanta, and my unemployment that I still receive is 365 a week. Now, I choose to get the taxes taken out of it because I don't want to pay it at the end of the year. So I get 310 every week. So you gotta ask yourself, can you survive with 1240 a month? Now, luckily, I could survive just off that to a certain extent. I could survive off that because I have no monthly bills besides my power bill, my cable internet, my cell phone, and water bill, and that comes way below 1,200. It probably come up to 500. So you do have another 600 you could save with food. So if I really want to stretch it out, I probably could stretch it out until I find another gig. But I had some other savings saved up. So I live worry free. And also, I forgot to mention, you got to keep your faith very high. For my situation, I live worry free because I had my finance in order to a certain extent. That severance pay actually paid off the remaining balance of my mortgage. So I was just relaxing, working on creating my daily routine. And I noticed my daily routine, everything still go by so fast. Everything still go by normal. When you have no worries, everything was going. I moved at my own beat, and it felt so good. It felt relaxing. I'm working on my hobbies nowadays is going to the gym. I'm about to go to the gym right after this video. Going to the gym, taking walks, going to the belt line, just doing little simple things because nowadays I do simple things that give me the most pleasure nowadays. So I ain't had to worry about applying for 100 jobs per week or per every 2 weeks or per month because I was just really celebrating because I paid off my house, but at the same time, I'm resetting for myself. Before I got laid off, I was doing my lock. If you was following my channel, I was locked in for 2 years and 8 months where I did next to nothing because I was trying to pay off my mortgage. So I was going extremely hard trying to pay off my mortgage. Before that, 2 years ago, I paid off my brand new car. I paid it off in 1 year. So after that, I started that same momentum to pay off the house, and it lead me up to right now. So now the house is paid for. I don't have to worry about nothing bills wise, financially wise right now because everything's paid off. So, and you got to keep while you're laid off. Even if your bills are not paid off, you got to keep your faith very, very high. I want to stress that because even though I was in a unique situation, if I did have any debt, my faith would have been super high because you have to keep that to keep your head level. So you don't have all these dark thoughts going through your head and reacting off them dark thoughts and sitting in your misery sometimes. But I would say, so what I learned with this layoff is keep your finance in order. Get it right before anything happens. Get your finance in order. Start working on emergency savings. Save 6 months to a year in your emergency savings. So just in case something do happen, you don't miss no beat. I would say create a daily plan because sometimes you don't want to sit in the bed all day long. You want to move your body. You want to get your health right still. I would say work on your hobbies. Well, if you forgot what your hobby is, sometimes you forget what your hobby is because you got your 9 to 5. You got when you come, you go to 9 to 5. But before you go to 9 to 5, it's an hour to get to that 9 to 5 and an hour to get back home. And then you got kids or your home routine that could lead you to the end of the day. So sometimes you lose focus on which your hobbies is. So start looking deep in yourself and seeing what you like doing in your interests because I would say this lead me to my next theory. I'm going to do a video on it next because it's popped in my mind now, but it's on the front of my mind now. I would say start thinking about retirement. I'm 45 years old right now, and this time taught me that I really don't really want to work. I'll go down to a part time, but I need to get things situated and also think about how I see retirement. Now that's in my in front of my of my head now. So now I'm about to go back to work February 9th. Now I'm gonna still celebrate sometime for the next 6 months. But when I turn 46, I'm gonna start a 10-year counter because at 55, 56 years old, I don't want to work no more. I want to make sure I make these 10 years count. I'm gonna start maxing out my 401. I'm gonna start a Roth 401. I'm gonna start that recently. I'm gonna start it soon. And when I do start it, I'll let you know the criteria is because I'm gonna start at one where I do it myself. I know my last 401, my last employer, I can't invest no more into it because I'm not with the company no more. So it's sitting there, it's still earning some income. Because I'm looking at the numbers now, it's actually still earning, but it's still invested. So that's pretty good. But I need to start one of my own. And once I start working 6 months later, I'm gonna max out and maxing out with the 401, the traditional 401, I think it's like 23,500 you could do a year, and a Roth IRA, I think it's 65 or 7,500 you could do per year. So I'm gonna do both of those, and I'm gonna make this next 10 years enjoyable. First of all, because now I don't have no bills, I could invest more, but live more as well. Because now I gotta get my social life back intact and um and live more. But that's gonna be for a later video. But I just want to tell you my experience of being laid off, and it's an eye opener for me right now because I enjoyed this time off. I relaxed, got things in order, even though I got a lot more things to do to get in order. This almost 5 months went by so fast that some things I should have been tackling or cleaning my organizing certain things, getting things in order. But this time was so enjoyable, and I start to think more. It's like, dang, I need to focus on the next 10 years, the 10 years after that. The next pinnacle point will be planning for retirement. And you plan for retirement, you're supposed to start it yesterday. But if you didn't start yesterday, you got to start the present day, and that's I want to work on my future self because I've been doing decent, but I could be doing better. We could all be doing better. Sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself, but that's my next step is making sure I ensure that I am more shoe for 56, but I should be retiring from a 9 to 5 by 56. That's my goal. But let me go to the gym, enjoy things, call life the best way you can. Always keep your faith, fitness, finance, you and relationships intact, and everything will be great. Y'all take care. To the next video. Y'all take care, people.